Hi guys, today we're going to be working on this green water marble for depression awareness. As those of you who've been longtime subscribers are probably aware, October is Depression Awareness Month and green is the color, so I always try to do a manicure to raise awareness on that issue. This year I've been seeing a new campaign, or at least new to me, called Bring Change to Mind. And so I'll be linking that website down in the information box if you want to check it out. And if you'd like to see how I did this, just stay tuned. Starting out with clean, dry nails, going to apply a base coat. I'm using Ready for Takeoff, which is a peel-off base coat, and you can use whichever you prefer. Next, I'll be applying my base color. Today I'm using Zoya Willa, which is just a plain black cream, and I did test a couple other options, mainly the two colors that I'll be marbling with, and if you'd like to see those tests, be sure to stay tuned at the end of the video. Optional, but definitely recommended, is some kind of protection around your nails. I'm going to be using Simply Peel, which is a liquid latex type of a barrier, and you can use whichever type of barrier you prefer. For the marble, I'm working in a 5-ounce cup of room temperature filtered water, and both the colors that I'm marbling with are also Zoya. This darker green is called Holly, and this sparklier green is called Apple. Once the bullseye is complete, I'm going to draw in a burst design. So I'm going to go from the center outwards in 8 directions, and then I'll be drawing back to the middle in between each of those lines. Could maybe fit 3 fingers in here, but I'm just going to be dipping 2. And if you're not comfortable dipping multiple fingers, you could also just dip 1 at a time. Just kind of decide which part of the design you want on which fingers. Then I'm going to kind of stick my fingers together and carefully dip in. With my orange stick, I'm going to clean up the excess polish so that that doesn't stick on top of my design. Make sure that the surface is as clean as you can get it. And then you can go ahead and slowly pull out. Now, I know the last couple times I've marbled, I've nearly had disaster, so I'm going to be carefully cutting apart the Simply Peel, and then with a tweezer, carefully pulling that off. You don't want to touch the design while it's still wet, or you can smear it. And once I get the Simply Peel off, then I'll just go ahead, finish up the rest of my nails, and then clean up around the edges. After you've finished your cleanup, the polish should be mostly dry, and that's the time to take care of any bubbles. You can see I've got a few here on my middle finger, and with my orange stick, I'm just going to go ahead and press them as flat as possible. Basically, just make sure that the air that's under them is pushed out so that when you apply your top coat, they don't pop. If you don't take the minute to push them flat, what usually happens is the top coat pops them, and then you'll see the base color underneath. So sometimes more bubbles than others. They're almost impossible to completely avoid. And then the final step, of course, is to finish with the top coat. And as usual, I'm using Seche Vite. So here's the finished manicure, and I love how this came out. I thought my camera might pick it up a little bit better with a darker background, so that's why I switched that out. But if this is too dark for your preference, you could also definitely substitute with a white base or one of the greens. And I'll show you on my test strips what kind of a difference that makes. On this side here is the colors with holly as the base. And on this side here is the colors with apple as a base. And you can see kind of toward the edges what they would look like with white as a base color. I also did a little bit of testing with black and a layer of color for the base. This is black with apple on top of it, and this is black with holly on top of it. So like I always kind of mention, the base color can play a huge role in how the finished water marble looks. But I definitely would love to hear what you guys think of this one down in the comments. Be sure to subscribe so you can be sure to see my fan choice double feature this coming up Friday. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching.